Hey, it's me, and today I will be tie-dyeing a towel. It's been about a year since I've tie-dyed anything, and I am excited to try this out. I've already unboxed everything because I wanted to be prepared for the filming part, but I will be using the Tulip one-step tie-dye kit in the color Carousel. I have used Tulip before. They're pretty good. I just added water to the bottles that already had the dye in them, so we should be good to go now. I just have to tie off my towel, and I didn't realize this until I opened everything, but it came with extra packets of each color. So today we will be using royal blue, fuchsia, purple, black, and teal, which the teal looks like emerald green. I don't understand how that works. The wild card will be the black today. I've never used black to tie-dye, so I'm curious to see how that turns out. Today I will be tying off my towel using the spider technique. I'm curious to see how that's gonna work, but I think it's gonna give me an effect that I'm wanting. So without further ado, let's jump right into the dyeing process. So we're gonna start tying this off. I tried to get a pretty big, whoa, okay, yep. I wanted to get a big towel. I think I got exactly what I asked for. That's a lot bigger than I actually thought it was. So I got a big towel, and it's got little frillies on the end that I'm hoping will get dyed by the end of it. So the way we are supposed to do the spider technique is it's supposed to be similar to the bullseye technique in that you spiral it. The only difference is that one side is color, the other side you put one solid color. Yeah, I think I'll keep it in 4 sections. I'm just gonna work to tie up some of my little frilly ends, because the idea is that they get pulled into this at least a little bit and give me some color. But I think what'll happen is, for the spider effect, we're supposed to do one side with the color, then you flip it over and you do black. So I think I'll do this side in color because there's the most little ruffles. Actually, that's a good thought, because what needs to happen is I need to get more color in. So this actually might be the side, because it's more tight, where I need to put the black. Okay, this side's the color. And of course, as per usual, that Chancy boy out here with me, being a good boy, tie-dyeing with me. And of course, the kit has given me gloves. Thank goodness, giving me lots of gloves, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and start with pink, because pink, I don't know, why not pink? Ah, I'm so excited. The first bit of color is always the most exciting because it makes it real. Now I'm doing this dry, so I'm a little bit concerned that it's not gonna go in the way I'm thinking it should right off. But I think it is. No, I'm making mess. Don't like mess. Okay, yep. I've got to put something under here. Also, when I bought this, I didn't realize that it was for a large set anyway, which is kind of funny because it's almost like I was setting myself up for failure by not checking, but it works. And the great thing about this color palette is that if they do touch, there's not a certain color that will be muddy next to the other, except maybe the black, but you know, it's meant to be a contrasting color. So my baby hairs are fighting me today. Okay, yeah, it's starting to bleed into the fabric, which is making me happy. And I think I'm almost to the point where I need to be. Oh yeah, because that's starting to saturate into my fabric very nicely. Hallelujah. So I'm going to keep saturating. My goal is to use each of these full bottles of dye, just not the extras. I'll keep the extras for another day. Use the same color palette. There's pink. I didn't think a whole lot of this through, by the way. I'm just here. I am here. Okay, here we go. You know, I always think this while I'm trying to tie-dye something. Like, a lot of this is about letting it fall where it's gonna fall and not caring. But as a perfectionist type person, I struggle with this so much. Because I want this to fall so prettily and I want it to turn out so perfect. But yet, tie-dye doesn't happen that way. It's kind of a reminder that things are gonna fall the way they're gonna fall in life. I don't mean to get all philosophical on you, but you know, you just think about it. The damage is done. I've done the damage. I'm gonna pour it out into the grass. There, a new bottom. Okay, here she goes. A lot of you at this point might be thinking, why a towel? Why not a cute little shirt? Because I did this whole set of really cute shirts last year that I still wear. I'm wearing them all the time. I love those shirts. But you know what? I want to do something different. This is the next thing. Oh, I just got blue on my toe. I have a Smurf toe. All right, final color. Well, bright color anyway. Which this fabric is kind of strange. It's 100% cotton, right? But for some reason, I guess it probably means I should have wet it before I full scent everything. But it's wanting to go right through the fabric until I force it to go into it. I'm not really sure why that is. And there's teal. How we looking? Pretty saturated. Yep. That's probably gonna give me a dark color on the side, but I don't care. Let's dip some tassels in there. Tassels, tassels, and yep. Okay. Wow, that made more of a mess than I thought it did. All right. So now we don't care as much about the back because that's where the black is gonna go. My goal with the black though is that number one, I can get the cap off, that I don't get the black into the other side's color, which I don't think it will. But I'm gonna do it out here so that I can kind of gauge what I'm doing a little bit better with the black. Ew, it's touching me. No. I'm really going to focus in on some of these tassels that I can see. I'm going to try not to kill my colors on the back either if I can help it. But so far so good. Now I'm a little worried. Yeah. Oh crud. This may not have been the best option. Oh. Hang on, y'all. We ain't gonna use all this black. That got scary real quick. Okay, so I did end up using all of it. Now I'm gonna flip her over. Oh no, there's gonna be some black in everything. That's not what I wanted. Well, it's what we've got. So now, maybe that won't turn out horribly. I don't feel good about this right now because of the black. Also, I've gotten this on my nice shorts, so I've got to go hurry and get these shorts off. Oh, this might be chaotic. Oh, because I've got to get this out before it sets. So I'm going to do the thing here, which is putting these inside of, I'm just going to touch it, my hands are already gross. Putting it into a plastic bag so they stay damp, and letting it sit for 6 to 8 hours, which should be fine. There it is. Now I've got to go hurry. See you in 6 to 8 hours. Update on the shorts. I got the pink out of them. I think I stopped just in time and got in there, hot water in a bathtub and some soap. I think I got it out. My hands are dyed, and this is actually a lot better. So they were solid black. Got a little bit on my wrist. I've got a lot on my toes, but I ain't showing that because no thank you. And I have made a catastrophic mess of my table. Today's tie-dye video was a big chaotic mess, and I just hope that that towel looks decent. Okay, before I even wash this, needless to say, holy crap, this looks fantastic. Even the spots where I thought I was gonna be worried about the pink, does that not look sick? Yeah, there's a little bleed over where I didn't want it, but oh my gosh, I actually love it. Okay, so it has been a couple of days since the last time I talked to you. And Pup is gonna take a pee right in my camera. He is telling me exactly what he thinks of it right now. Okay. Are you proud of yourself? Anyway, so I ended up letting the dye sit overnight instead of just the 6 to 8 hours because I really wanted the dye to get in there. I wanted it to be nice and vibrant. I didn't want it to be washed out. I actually let it sit in the bag outside because I didn't want to make a mess inside after the chaos that we had, which we'll talk about in a second. Then I rinsed it out outside with a water hose. Again, worried that I might stain the bathtub or the sink, and I didn't want to stain any concrete or anything, so I took it out. I sat it in the mulch, and I rinsed out what would be the initial burst of dye, and then I draped it over the fence and sprayed the absolute heck out of it until everything ran clear. And then I went inside and immediately threw it in the washer and it came out looking pretty good. I let it air dry because I didn't want to throw it in the dryer and shrink it because it is 100% cotton. But I'm really happy with the result, and I'm gonna show you that right now. So first glance, it's really bright, really pretty, and I'll have to step back because it is so big. Try not to step in the dog pee. Here she is. As you can see, nice and big, very pretty, very bright, and just as I wanted. The teal is more of the primary color that you see, broken up by bits of pink, purple, blue, and some black. I am actually a really big fan of how the black turned out. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it or if it would just kind of make my colors kind of dingy looking, but oddly enough, the parts where the colors do kind of mesh a little bit more than I thought I liked, like this part with the pink, are actually some of my favorite spots. So the chaos that ensued during the making of this video did end up producing a very pleasant result. So with that, let's talk about the chaos that did ensue and how I managed to get around it. So number one, protect your surface area. I had to completely bleach my table because the dye was on it and rinsing it off didn't get rid of it. So it needed a good bleaching anyway. So I had to spray bleach all over it, and it did come off, but it looked like a gender reveal puked on my table. Gloves are a must when handling, always. I decided early on in my head that I wasn't gonna waste these extra gloves that I got. Boy, did I regret it, because my fingers were stained black until this morning when I scrubbed them again. Wear black, solid black, please, because I wore my cute little blue shorts that were not cheap, and I got pink dye on them. Of all colors, couldn't have been the teal or the blue, had to be bright pink. Luckily I got it out because I acted immediately. As you saw at the very end of that clip, I acted immediately, put it in some hot water and some Dawn dish soap, and that got it out. But just to save myself the heartache and the chaos and fear of dyeing a good pair of shorts, just wear black. And then finally, prepare for the size of the piece that you are doing. I didn't realize that my towel was so big until I opened it up. Because fun fact, the first time that I looked at it fully was on video. Save yourself some trouble and look at how big your piece is. So I hope you all enjoyed. I know I did. I love tie-dyeing. It's one of my favorite hobbies, and I'm wearing one of my shirts that I did last year right now. So, big hobby. Let me know if you have any other types of tie-dyeing I should do, or different kinds of pieces to dye, and I may give them a try. And with that, I will see you next week.